Hey, everybody. This is Yehudit Steinberg, and I am a few minutes early. Just wanted to make sure that this live stream is working. So if you're waiting, um, I'll be starting the 10-minute meditation in just a few moments. And thank you so much for coming. And I'm really excited to start this series. Also, this is my first time going live on YouTube. It's not my first time doing live video, but you never know. So give me a little bit of, hmm, I'll work out any technical issues that we may have. However, it looks like we are live and we have an excellent connection. So I'm very excited to get started at 11 a.m. Now, in terms of chat, ask your questions in the chat. I will answer questions when I'm finished the meditation. So, just want to let you know that that's going to happen. I won't stop in the middle of the meditation, but I will answer all questions and comments that are in the chat once I finish the meditation. Now, this live video will probably be a little bit longer than 10 minutes, but the meditation is approximately 10 to 12 minutes. And we are at 11 a.m. and we'll get started. Are you feeling a little scattered or tense today? In just 10 minutes, we're going to breathe, draw, and come back to ourselves one gentle stroke at a time. Hey, welcome to Yehudit Steinberg's Art and Design Studio YouTube channel. I'm Yehudit, and today we're starting a brand new live video series, 10-minute drawing meditation, a simple, calming, creative practice that you can do each week. Drawing slowly, one line at a time, can reduce stress, calm the nervous system, improve focus, and support brain health. It's a research-backed method that anyone can do, and that even if you think you can't draw. Today we're exploring the floral tangle nunsuch, and you can see that here on my desktop. This beautiful pattern may look complex at first, but with my step-by-step instruction, even beginners can draw it. It's also one of the featured patterns in my upcoming Grow Your Tangle pattern, Grow Your Tangle Garden on June 7th. And this is what we did last year in the Grow Your Tangle. And you can get all that information and links to the Eventbrite for registration in the in the description below. Now, here's the pattern that we're going to be drawing, and I'm going to show you the step out so that you can get a screenshot of the step out for nunsuch. Let me focus in a little bit. I see that there's also a little bit of a delay from the well, I'm looking and I'm looking at two different screens here, the YouTube, and then I'm also on Zoom. But here is Nunsuch. Take a screenshot, and then we will move on to the supplies that I'm using today. So the supplies are really pretty basic, and um, you you don't need to use the supplies that I'm using. Any kind of pen, pencil, and something to blend. uh, you can use a Q-tip or your finger if you don't have a blending stump. So this is a very fine line unipin. I use this one because it has a stronger nib than the normal microns, and I'm a little hard on my pens. So I use an 03 micron to draw, and it works really well. Also, when I'm beginning my drawing, I typically use this Graph Gear 500 Pentel. I love it more than I do the regular pencil. It's really weighted really well, so I really enjoy that. So there will be a link to all of these different tools that I use in the description following the live. I still need to add these to the live once it's done. So this is a Statler 2B. I'll be using that for my shading, and I have a blending stump. This is a number 1 for my blending. So let's get to our drawing. I'm using a 2-inch bijou Zentangle tile, but you use whatever you have, a sketchbook, a piece of copy paper, any of that works. Now, before we get started drawing, let's bring in the meditation. And usually when I start my meditations, I like to start with lighting a candle. So if you happen to have a candle around, light that candle now, and let's set an intention for today's drawing. Before we shift into breath, I invite you to softly set an intention for today's practice. Maybe it's to slow down, to play, or simply just to listen. Whatever feels right, just hold that intention gently. So let's take 3 deep, slow breaths together. Deep, diaphragmatic breaths. As you breathe, let that intention settle into your body. As you inhale, fill your belly and count to 6 and hold gently and then exhale. So let's take a deep breath in and out. Breathe in, hold it, and out. Feel your shoulders relax. Warm up your hands a little bit. Notice if there's any tension in your body and just let it go. Let's take another deep breath in and out. Now, as we begin this drawing together, this is not about making something perfect. It's about showing up for yourself. You're invited to draw along with me or simply watch and breathe. Throughout our time together, I'll offer gentle reminders to return to your breath. Each stroke, as we take it, we breathe in and out. You are now entering a creative drawing meditation. So we begin by drawing. I like to um, bring back, let's see if I can get this in here. I need to just move this a little bit. So as we're going to draw this loop first, and I think that's like my string for this particular pattern. And so we will, I will pick up my graphite, and I like to make sure that it's positioned where I want it on the on my tile. Looks good. So I will pick up my number 3 micron, and I turn my tile a little bit so that my hand fits comfortably to draw this loop. It's really to like see curves. C curve up, C curve down. If you're left or right-handed, you may draw it a little bit different, but there is step 1. None such is such an easy tangle, and we're now on step 2. We'll draw this C curve on top. And as I mentioned, hi everybody. I see all of you in the comments, and I just want to let you know that I will be here for comments after we finish our drawing. But we drew the C curve on top. This is step 2. And what it does is it really will be the difference, the size of this first petal. So you can make it shorter, you can make it longer, flatter, and try different ways. But this is step 2. Now, step 3 is a C curve that comes back and touches right at the crossroads of our loop. I turn my tile, and I'll draw another C curve and hit right at that crossroads. Wow, we've just drawn step 3, and there's only 5 steps in this pattern. So we will do a little C curve here, and again I will draw a thinner back, we'll call it a petal, and then I'll turn my tile and another little C curve, and we are almost done with the pattern. I put a little C curve on top, and then to me it looks like a little canoe and an orb in the center. We have now drawn the pattern None Such. This is None Such. It is by Cheryl Lee Haley. Now the fun begins. And what happens now are the embellishments. So let me back out just a moment to show you a few different embellishments that I did for this pattern for you today. And I have another one. So your imagination can come up with a lot of different variations. And what I made for you, and there's a link in the description, is my Pinterest board, floral board, and there's a lot of inspiration there for you in how you want to proceed with this pattern. So let's do a little bit of embellishing, but I want to show you what I did after I drew this a few times. Then I came and I did these 3 different embellishments on a 3.5-inch Zentangle tile, and that was a lot of fun. and I added a little colored pencil to that. So let's embellish this little guy. And I start here in my, inside this first petal, I draw a line, and we call this an aura. It parallels. And notice that I only am drawing on one side. Always turning my tile so that my hand is comfortable. Now let's just take a moment and look at what we've drawn. Take another deep breath in and out. The next thing I'm doing is I'm coming to the back pedal here, and I will do some lines. And these lines help for contrast, that this is a back pedal. And later on, we will do a shading. And let's come and put the lines on the other side. Taking your time, focusing on the line. This is not perfect. This is just process. Now I sit back and I take a deep breath. What do I want to do inside here? I'm going to draw some orbs, different sizes. Some little ones and some bigger ones. I'll come to the other side. Again, we're drawing none such. This pattern I found on Pinterest, and it's by Cheryl Lee Haley. It was originally on pattern collections.com. It was a website that had a lot of patterns, and now those patterns are on Pinterest. So if you want to go to my Pinterest board, that link is in the description. It's linked directly to the floral inspiration board. But we still have inside here, I'd love to do a little more embellishing. I'm going to do what's called a tethered aura. So I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm going to do a C curve that then meets at the bottom where all of these have been connected. I will go again. And then I'll turn my tile, and this is like a little C curve here on this line. I'm going to do some striping in here. Now, once you've done that, if you have done this drawing, I'd love to see it in the comments. Feel free to post it. Now, I'll give a little bit of line work up here in this little canoe-like drawing, and another little circle inside there. I also saw the idea that Cheryl had, that she did these little circulars around on the top here, and I thought that was kind of cute, so I put that in. Now, if you feel like this is just sitting in midair, and you want it to look a little more floral, we could put a little stem. And what I like to do for my stems is just some little hatching, some ink hatching, and then I'll go over it with some shading. And you're wondering what these little wings are here, these little lines here. We can put some leaves, and I'll show you on one side. I've done, these leaves are rounded. you can come up with, I'm sure you can come up with a number of different shapes. This next side I want to show you. Well, what if you wanted a little pointy, like a pointy leaf? And if you go over to the Pinterest inspiration board, there's all sorts of different ideas for you. So now we have pretty much drawn um, none such. I want to put a little inking in to the side here. Okay. And then maybe you want to take these little the little ones and ink them in, or maybe you're going to color. This is where you would start adding some colored um, pens or a colored pencil. And the next, oh, this little guy up here. There's really a myriad of ways in which you can go ahead and embellish, but this is something that you can do right now. And then my suggestion is to make a couple of these and then eventually go ahead and uh, do pick your three best one favorite ones and put them together into a tile, a 3-inch tile. So now it's time to shade. And so in shading, I'm going to come in right behind this front petal. Make sure your pencil is sharpened so you can get kind of in there. This probably could use another little sharp. The sharper, the better, because then you can get it really directly where you want it. I'm going to give a little shading down here and also around this. And here, you don't need the graphite on the ink, though. It tends to be a little shiny. Now I'll take my blending stump. I love shading. Oh, and so I have a shading class coming up this summer as well. There's 3 different live workshops on Zoom that I'm offering, and in the if you go into the description, there's links to the Eventbrite where you can register for the classes. But I'm teaching this shading class again. It was a favorite. And so there you have it, where you could spend, gee, a lot more time uh, shading. Shading can take as long as the drawing, but this pretty much is the pattern that I wanted to show you today. Then I want to take my pen and sign, and I'll stick it down here. My initials are YS, and I made this little chop one day, and I thought it was kind of cute, but sometimes it's cuter than others. The other thing that I like to do is to um, take notes, journal on the back, put the name of that tile, because believe me, you won't remember 6 months from now, and where you found it on the YouTube live number 1. With that, is bringing us to a conclusion in a moment for this first meditation drawing. Here's another. Let me just see if there was something else that I wanted um, to mention to you before we conclude. So let's take a final deep breath. Sit back and look at what we've drawn. Don't forget to put any comments, or if you did draw along with me or are drawing along with me after the live, put your drawing, share your drawing in the comments would be really great for everyone to see. And remember that registration is open for our Eventbrite classes. And this is the Grow Your Tangle Garden. Now, Grow Your Tangle Garden is next Saturday. And we will not have a live video next Saturday. I'll be back in 2 weeks with the live video. If you have subscribed to my channel and hit the notifications, you will get notified. If you want to get an email, join my email list, which is also in the descriptions. And if you're interested in some of the other classes that I offer, you can definitely go deeper by clicking that Eventbrite link, and it will show you all the classes that I have offered for the summer. So I want to take a moment to look at the comments before we go. And I need to change my lighting just a little bit so I can see. Hi, Samantha, Nova Lee's, Joan, Joni, it's so good to see you. And Barbara, thank you so much. And Marjorie, well, all of you, I just really want to thank you so much for joining me on my first 10-minute drawing meditation. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. And have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.